Colleen here, DIYer behind LemonThistle.com, and today I am so excited to share the inside of our kiddos' playhouse with you guys. A couple of weeks ago here on YouTube, I shared the exterior build of this playhouse as well as why we chose to use a solid stain instead of paint on the exterior. And then this past week, the kids and I got busy and we finished off the inside of this playhouse. So today I want to share all of the things that we've done on the inside of this playhouse, and best of all, that it cost us $0. We worked really hard to use only materials and decorations and things that we had laying around from previous projects, old parties, like my dad's old renovation, lots of scavenging for the inside of this space, and we didn't have to buy a single thing. Part of that, of course, is a ton of DIY, so I'm going to show you the different projects that we took on if you want to take them on yourself. Before we get into it, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I would so love if you did that below so you don't miss out on any more DIY or home decor videos. Alright, so let's throw it back to what it looked like on the inside when we started this project. We worked on the inside of the space for 3 days. They took turns helping me on all the different projects. So the first thing that we did was paint the floor. I let them loose on Pinterest and they decided that they wanted a buffalo check floor. So we took it on. We did 2 coats of white on the floor, and then we started taping off our lines. Part of the challenge was getting them perfectly even, so I did this on an angle so that you're not seeing the straight lines from the door, so you can't quite tell that they're not perfect. I did them about 13 inches wide, and we started by painting the lightest color gray as stripes, and then once that was dry, 2 coats. We taped lines the opposite direction and taped the medium gray. And then once that was dry, 2 coats, we taped those final lines and painted in the darkest gray squares. Peeling off the paint for this was so nerve-wracking, just hoping that we did it properly to get the pattern that we wanted. The next thing that we did was to panel the walls. Now we had a limited amount of plywood and different press boards left over from different projects, and once we had that all in there, we painted it all white. This really brightened it up in here and gave it kind of a scandi vibe. We didn't have quite enough board to do the entire space, so you can see to the left here we built some shelves in for the kids to store their treasures. That's just because we didn't have enough plywood, and now that we've built those shelves there, it looks totally intentional. The other place that we don't have any plywood is underneath the kitchen. So we only have this one cabinet here. It's a 12-inch cabinet. We built a base for it using 2x4s and then painted it a green, which is a leftover paint from my office. And then we made a countertop for it just using an old piece of shelf. We wrapped this in marble contact paper. Do you remember when marble contact paper was everywhere? You can get it from the dollar store. It's actually drawer liner, this one specifically. And then to cover up that underneath there is no backing, we sewed this little curtain with some material that I've been hoarding for quite some time. In the countertop, I added a faucet and a bowl to give them a little kitchen feel. This is just a kitchen bowl from my kitchen. I'm now short a bowl. We just cut out a hole for it using a jigsaw and then added this faucet in here. This is actually a real faucet that we had bought with plans to update our bathroom before our house flooded and we completely gutted our bathroom. So we had this sitting in our garage left over. It is a $23 faucet off of Amazon. I will add the link down below. And the black matches the black hardware that we put on that little cabinet, which is left over from our kitchen remodel. To match this little kitchenette, we also had this wall-mounted corner table from my dad's kitchen renovation that he'd pulled out. So we painted that the same color as the cabinet and wrapped the top in that marble contact paper as well. Other decorations are all left over, either old DIYs that when we moved to this new house we didn't have any room for, or old party decorations that I've been saving for future parties. So we added these cute little gold leaf stars to the ceiling. Again, this is from a past party. Also from a party is this vintage Storybook Garland. This is from a baby shower that I hosted 7 years ago. And yes, I was vlogging 7 years ago, so I have included a link to that down below. By the door here is just one of those mailboxes from Target that you can get, and we had used it in our old house as a wall-mounted charging station. I have a YouTube video on that, so I'll link that down below as well. And then some of these other hand-lettered goodies are just things that I had made for my kids over the years. This big hello
is made out of plywood, and I will link the DIY for that. That was one of my favorite pieces, and we just haven't found a great space for it in our house. I feel like it was made for this playhouse. The door here is just a little 4-foot door. It's a shaker door that we cut out the top 2 panels of, and we added a little shelf in that window so that they can pretend to serve coffees or do drive-throughs or whatever. That's been their most popular activity so far here. All right, so that is our playhouse. We are so happy with how it turned out. It is now just as adorable on the inside as it is on the outside. If you would like to hear more about how this playhouse was built or see the outside in more detail, I will link that video for you below as well.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any more DIY or home decor videos. We'll see you next time.